Hi guys, my name is Kenny and we are Rosemore. Welcome to our Rosemore new episode. Bob. Guys, I always love to have you around. It's a beautiful thing. I feel like we have a bigger family and our family is growing bigger and better as all the time. All the time we are growing bigger and better, and I'm just in love with each and every one of you guys. I appreciate the presence of you guys. I appreciate you subscribing and liking our YouTube channel, and I'll try by all means to always put up a fresh new video just like today. All right, today's topic, the most important topic ever: common mistakes that people make in goat farming. Common mistakes that people make in goat farming. Okay, number one, lack of planning. A lot of people go into goat farming without planning. Okay, planning meaning, number one, I've seen just one farmer. He called me to his farm and he showed me the goats that he has just acquired. And to my surprise, he has acquired Kalahari Reds as well as Boer goats, but he is using one bag, which is a Boer goat, both to the Kalaharis as well as to the Boer goats. And I realized, there's lack of planning there. So we need to plan. Plan meaning, what kind of breed we want to breed. If you go for that particular breed, you must have reasons that you are going into that breed, and those reasons should be also backed by buying the same bag of that breed. Okay, lack of planning means a lot of things. It means you need to plan before you start. Okay, you don't just start. As a lot of Africans, me included, a lot of people, they just go into farming without planning, and then they started planning while they are there. So number one very important thing is plan. If you do not plan, you are planning to fail. You know that English. So always plan. Planning will reduce a lot of cost. Planning will also reduce a lot of risk, and it will also reduce the risk of you losing your investment. All right. Number two, the common mistakes that a lot of people make. Number two is that a lot of people do not keep records. Okay, they do not keep records of the number of their head. That's number one, very important. And also they lack to keep records of the birthing weight, the birthing date, the kidding date, the breeding dates. So records, anything that you cannot record, you cannot measure it. Okay, so always make sure that you keep the records of your vaccination also. When did this goat get sick? What was the sickness all about? How did I inject it? What did I inject it with? Now, also keep the records of how many times did he give birth? How many babies did he give birth? Did it give birth this year or not? Okay, can I go and take it to the meat market because it's no longer producing? So if you keep your records, you are reducing a lot of stress, you are reducing a lot of risk. And make sure that when you keep records, you keep them also on notebook as well as on your phone. At Rosemore, we like it the olden way. Okay, we keep it at our records on notebooks, and then we also keep our records on an app called Money Manager. If you are using an iPhone, or I don't know if it's there on Android, but we also keep our records, especially the cash flow. Okay, cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out. We just record all the transactions that are happening. If you buy feed, we record. If we sell a goat, we record. So at the end of the year, it tells us how much we have made, how much we have lost in a month, and also it provides the pie charts. In terms of also record keeping, what we have done, we also keep records in our goats through ear tags. Okay, every goat has a yellow ear tag. It's written Rosemore. If it's number one, it's number 1, 001, and then the date of birth. Okay, and then the number of the farm. Should it get lost, someone could just call and say, we have just found your goat somewhere here. So record keeping goes a long way. I'm gonna do a video also entirely dedicated to record keeping. Number 3, neglecting the goat's health. Okay, goats are just like people, guys. Goats require medications. Goats require anything and everything that it's needed in terms of the medication. Okay, so common mistake that a lot of people and a lot of farmers that are making out there, they have goats, they don't vaccinate them. Okay, our kids, when they are born, we always take them to the hospital to get vaccinated against polio, malaria, just like goats. When they are born, we take the pasturella and the multivax medication vaccination, we just inject them. We take electroguard, we drench them to protect them against the diseases. And we always keep the antibiotics at our farm in order to inject the goats that are sick. So I grew up in Botswana, and in Botswana, our olden farmers, they never used to inject our goats. And whenever a goat is sick or a cow is sick, they'll wait until it dies and then they eat it. So you can imagine, you don't know what caused that disease. You have never called a vet, you have never injected it to try and save that life. You wait for it to die and then we cook it. So with the new generation, now we get to learn about the medication. Now we can have the goat and save the goat through a needle, an injection, or a drench. So a lot of farmers, I know, biggest and common mistakes that they make is that they do not keep any medication, they don't inject, they don't protect them, and that is a huge setback, because if hot water hits your kraal, you might lose half of your head or all the goats, and you might end up giving up. But it's a very simple thing to solve, and if you get to solve and learn how to solve it, and you know about the goat health, and you are not even neglecting it, you can go forth and achieve greater things in the goat farming industry. The next one, common mistakes that people make in goat farming, is that overcrowding. I see a lot of people, they just make one small kraal and then they put 150 goats, 200 goats in one kraal. They just overcrowd them. It is not good, guys, to overcrowd. You'll find that your kids are sleeping with bigger animals. At Rosemore Goat, guys, what we do is we divide goats according to weight. Okay, the big mamas and the big bodied animals, they go into one kraal. The moderate one or the average, they go into now when it's time for feeding, the big animals, they are not eating alone and pushing the goats away. Every goat in our Rosemore farm can also access food and water at the same time. And the kids also, when it's time to wean, we take them away to a separate kraal. So have many kraals. Don't overcrowd and be lazy, or just you don't want to create a bigger kraal for your animals. Don't overcrowd. All right. And then the next one also, okay, people always have an issue of not having a hospital. You need to have a hospital at your kraals. Every animal that is sick needs to be separated from the other animals, be left there to recover. Okay, hopefully it's not a disease that can go. Imagine having an animal that is sick and that disease can also go into other animals, just like not manja ticks, I don't know which one is that, but there are diseases that spread all over the other animals. So if you have that disease, have a hospital. We as people also, we have hospitals. Every time we are sick, we go to the hospitals. We have a hospital bed. Have a hospital bed, because animals or goats have a tendency that if an animal is sick amongst them, they keep on pushing it, keep on hitting it, keep on disturbing it. So it delays the recovery time. Common mistake that a lot of people are making in goat farming, it's improper feeding. Goats require a balanced diet. We also, as human beings, require balanced diet. So goat also require a balanced diet. You need to keep the salt block there, the protein block there. Give them the feed that they need. Okay? Without feeding, I'm telling you, it is hard to tell if a goat is good or not good. It's a good quality or not a good quality. So with a balanced diet to your animals, it will take you far. And also, I want to tell you the biggest secret in goat farming, okay? The biggest secret is that it is easier to get twins, triplets, and quads, okay? You can do that by feeding. If you feed your goats, proper feed them, and then put a buck on them when they have a body score of 4/5, it is easier for them to give birth to twins and triplets. Okay, that's increasing your herd with more than double. So a lot of farmers also, they like to say, I have goats, I have land. They'll go look for food there and then come and drink water at back home. People need to now understand that even if they go graze, the grazing, our pastures doesn't have the quality. Maybe it's not a quality pasture. It doesn't have the balanced diet. Okay, it doesn't the protein in the grass, especially when it goes into winter, it goes down in terms of percentage. So you need to, when they come back, you need to supplement them, give them supplementary feed, and then you'll see magic. Okay guys, the last one now. I might give you bonus, but I'm not too sure. The last one now, failure to socialize. Goats are social animals. Okay, when you take one goat and put it in a separate and far away place, it becomes lonely, it becomes stressful. Now it gives me, it also I now remember a time where Mandela, as well as other people that were other heroes that were held in Robben Island prison. They were separated. They were never allowed to see other people or mingle with other people. They were always, if they need to read a newspaper, they are there in that room. They will sit one in that room, and a lot of prisoners. So it's a painful situation to see a goat live alone. Goats are social animals. Okay, so if you keep one goat far away from the other ones, it becomes stressful. And I know for sure, I'm not talking about a goat that is sick and that requires you to put it somewhere alone. I'm talking about a healthy animal, and then you take and put it somewhere else. It's going to be stressed. It's going to not even, sometimes it might not even produce because even if it eats the food, if it's not happy, they don't even reflect on their body weight. So goats are social animals. Keep them in packs. Okay, keep them 5, 10. They'll always be happy. They like playing together. They like, scratching each other. So they are social animals. And also a lot of people, they like to say, hey, goats, they smell, they what. They are social animals. They're always also saying goats can jump the fence. I feel like they jump the fence if the routine is not the same. So guys, this is the common mistakes that a lot of people and a lot of farmers that make. You should also watch my biggest mistakes at Rosemore Goat. I've done a video on that. Okay, but I feel like the mistakes that I've given you guys, with proper planning, with proper thinking, proper health care, proper feeding, proper things, you can avoid the risk of losing your investment when it comes to goat farming. So I can only advise that you look within your farm. Every farm is different. Every farm feeding is different. Medication, grazing area is different. Diseases are different. Where I am right now, there is a high strain of hot water in this area. But in other parts of the country, the strain is quite low. So, every farm has its own challenges, own mistakes that we also make. I just wanted to mention these few mistakes and say, guys, avoid them, avoid them, avoid them. I love you guys. I've never asked you guys to subscribe. Today I just want to kneel before you and say, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I want us to reach up to 20,000 subscribers, and I know we can do it. And I want to grow bigger and better with you guys. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Bye-bye.